The Jacksonville Jaguars are currently sitting on a throne of lies, and the Denver Broncos are about to expose their fraudulent kingdom in front of the entire world. They believe that a 5-game winning streak makes them legitimate Super Bowl contenders. They think that because they beat up on a few bottom feeders, they are suddenly the kings of the AFC. But the reality is much different. We have received the definitive blueprint on exactly how Bo Nix is going to dismantle their defense piece by piece. If you think this is just another Week 15 matchup, you need to wake up. This isn't just a game. This is the key to locking up the AFC West. This is the path to the #1 seed. And this is about silencing every single critic who said the Broncos weren't the real deal. Today, we prove who the real predators are and who is just wearing a costume. Before we break down the fatal flaw in Jacksonville's defense, and trust me, it is a massive hole that Bo Nix is going to exploit, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you are part of Broncos country and you know we are leaving Florida with a victory, sound off in the comments. Let's address the elephant in the room immediately. The Jacksonville Jaguars winning streak. The national media is eating it up. You hear it everywhere, the Jags are back, Trevor Lawrence is elite, the vibes in Duval are immaculate. But let's take a step back and look at this with a cold, hard, analytical eye. Jacksonville is riding high on emotion right now. They started the year 4-1, and everyone bought the hype. Then what happened? They fell off a cliff. They lost 3 out of 4 games and looked like a team destined for a top-end draft pick. But suddenly, they've rattled off 5 wins in a row. Their fans are booking Super Bowl tickets. Their offensive coordinator, Liam Cohen, is inventing new slogans. They are treating this game like it is their Super Bowl. But who have they beaten? Let's look at the resume. Their dominance came against the Tennessee Titans, one of the worst teams in football, the Indianapolis Colts, who lost their starting quarterback in the first quarter, and the New York Jets, who are a complete circus. They are beating up on the runts of the litter and acting like heavyweight champions. This is not a team that has been battle-tested in the trenches recently. This is a team that has gotten fat and happy on an easy schedule. Contrast that with your Denver Broncos. We are on an 11-game winning streak of pure dominance against legitimate competition. We have won in hostile environments. We have won defensive slugfests. We have won shootouts. For Jacksonville, this game is their Turkey Bowl. Liam Cohen has pinned Sean Payton's comments on the bulletin board to manufacture motivation. They are acting like the uncle who trains all year just to swat a pass down at the family Thanksgiving game. But for the Broncos? This is a business trip. We aren't going down there for vibes. We are going down there to give them a reality check. Now, let's get into the X's and O's, because this is where the game will be won. We have gathered intel from behind enemy lines, and there is a massive defensive liability in Jacksonville that nobody is talking about because they haven't faced a real quarterback in weeks. Their secondary is incredibly vulnerable. Remember, they traded away their best cornerback, Tyson Campbell, earlier this year. Think about that, they shipped off their best cover guy. So, who are they relying on now? They are fielding 7th-round picks. They are relying on backups like Montaric Brown, players who, frankly, would be on the practice squad of a team like Denver. Jaguars insiders and beat writers openly admit that when this secondary faces elite receivers, they get scorched. Devontae Adams put up monster numbers against them. Nico Collins destroyed them. Jackson Smith-Njigba lit them up. They consistently give up massive yardage to WR1s because they simply do not have the talent to play man coverage against elite athletes. And guess who we have? Courtland Sutton, the king of the 50-50 ball. Marvin Mims, whose speed is going to be a nightmare for their backups. And the best news of all, Pat Bryant is fully healthy. But here is the craziest stat, and this is the factor that I believe decides the game: the Jacksonville Jaguars have not played a single mobile quarterback all season. 0. Not one. They have played statues. They have played pocket passers who stand still and let the defense dictate the tempo. They have absolutely no idea what it is like to face a true dual-threat weapon. They are boasting about their run defense, bragging that they held Jonathan Taylor to 70 yards. That's great, but Jonathan Taylor isn't a quarterback. When Bo Nix drops back and the pocket collapses, the Jaguars linebackers are going to freeze. They won't know whether to stay in coverage or chase Bo. That hesitation is deadly. Bo's ability to extend plays, to scramble for a first down on 3rd and 6, or to throw on the run is going to break their defensive structure. He is going to introduce them to a nightmare they haven't practiced for all year. We cannot be arrogant, though. We have to respect the weapon they do have. There is one guy on their roster that Vance Joseph needs to circle in red ink on the game plan: their rookie sensation, Brian Thomas Jr. Early in the season, this kid was struggling with drops. He looked raw. But lately, Liam Cohen has transformed him into their designated deep ball specialist. They know Denver's defense is stout. They know they cannot drive the length of the field on us 10 or 12 times a game. So, their strategy is going to be simple: boom or bust. They are going to try to take the top off our defense. They want to launch deep shots to Brian Thomas Jr. hoping for a cheap touchdown or a pass interference penalty. This brings me to our question of the day. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Do you trust our secondary to completely shut down Brian Thomas Jr. and force Trevor Lawrence to play small ball, or is the deep threat a legitimate worry for you? Let me know what you think below. Speaking of their quarterback, let's have an honest conversation about Trevor Lawrence. At one point this season, the fan base in Jacksonville had turned on him. They were ready to trade him. They were having serious conversations about whether he was a bust. But then, they brought in Jakobi Meyers. And suddenly, Lawrence looks like an all-pro? Jakobi Meyers essentially saved this man's career by fixing the culture in that receiver room and giving Lawrence a safety blanket. But is Trevor Lawrence truly back, or is he just comfortable? We know he has the physical tools. He's tall, he has a cannon for an arm. But we also know his fatal flaw: he crumbles under pressure. When the pocket is clean, he's great. But when he gets hit? When he has to move off his spot? He makes mistakes. He throws interceptions. And nobody, I mean nobody, brings chaos like the Denver Broncos defense. If we can hit him early, if Nick Bonitto or Jonathan Cooper can get home in the first quarter, that all-pro confidence is going to evaporate. He will revert to the quarterback who was almost traded, not the one leading a winning streak. I also want to talk about a matchup that I think heavily favors us: R.J. Harvey against their linebackers. Jacksonville claims they have a stout run defense. But they haven't seen a runner like Harvey. We saw last week that R.J. isn't just a speed guy, he can run between the tackles. He breaks ankles in the open field, but he also has the power to finish runs. With Jacksonville worrying about Bo Nix running the ball, and worrying about our receivers downfield, R.J. Harvey is going to have massive running lanes. I predict another breakout performance for him. He is the engine that keeps this offense on schedule, and against a defense that over-pursues, his cutback ability is going to result in a long touchdown. Mark my words. Finally, we have an emotional edge in this game that no stat sheet can measure: Evan Engram. This is a massive revenge game for our tight end. Evan was a good soldier for Jacksonville. He stuck up for his teammates. He was historically productive for them, one of the only tight ends ever to catch 100 balls in a season. And how did they repay him? They dumped him. They said he didn't fit the scheme. He has been quiet this season dealing with that back injury, but I guarantee you he has had this date circled on his calendar for months. The Jaguars historically struggle to cover tight ends, and Engram is due. He knows their defense better than anyone. He knows their signals. He knows their tendencies. Expect Bo Nix to look for him early and often. There is nothing more dangerous than a player with a chip on his shoulder against the team that quit on him. So, how does this all play out? Jacksonville thinks they are fighting for the AFC South title. They think this is their moment to prove they belong. They are predicting a close 24-21 win because they feel they need it more. But needing it doesn't win football games. Talent, preparation, and execution win football games. They have holes in their secondary. They have never seen a mobile QB like Bo. And their winning streak is built on a house of cards that is about to collapse. I am predicting the Denver Broncos walk into Jacksonville and handle business. Broncos 28, Jaguars 17. We extend the streak to 12 games. We officially clinch the AFC West. And we remind the league that while the Jaguars are playing for vibes, we are playing for a ring. They can keep the headlines. We'll take the victory. We got a ton to believe in. And the ball don't lie.